Good morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Friday the 30th of October. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, we're looking at the hourly candlesticks. Bearish start to the morning here. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 13,351 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 13,729. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from 13,500 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Bitcoin test resistance at 14,000. Second major resistance level sits at 14,008. A major resistance level does sit at 13,839, however, so going to need to see a broad-based crypto rally for Bitcoin to target 14,000 levels. Fallback through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 13,072 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer clear of sub 12,800 levels. Second major support level sits at 12,694. Looking at the MACD, we're seeing a narrowing of the bullish histograms, supportive of this early morning pullback, and we're seeing the 50 EMA flatten on the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a move through the early morning, so need to keep an eye on that. So keep through the early part of the morning, avoid a fallback through the pivot, break through to 13,500 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and its support levels on the day. Moving across Ethereum against the US dollar, bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ethereum move back through the pivot at 387.45 to bring the first major resistance level sitting at 394.15 into play. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Ethereum to break back through to 390s, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of breakout, could see Ethereum test resistance at 400 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 400.7. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 380.90 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should secure a sub 370s. Second major support level sitting at 374.20 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we got a bearish cross late yesterday and a widening of the bearish histogram this morning, supportive of this early pullback. And we're seeing the 50 EMA pull away from the 100 and the 200, supportive of further downside. So failure to move through the pivot level at 387.45 would bring support levels into play on the day. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, tracking the broader market, bearish start. Going to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 54.99 to bring the first major resistance level of 56.53 into play. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Litecoin to break back through to 56 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Litecoin target 58 before any pullback. Second major resistance level at 58.1 should limit any upside, however. Failure to move back through the pivot would bring the 23.6% fib at 54 and the first major support level at 53.42 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, however, should see Litecoin steer well clear of sub 50s. Second major support level at 51.88 should limit any downside. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bearish cross this morning, supportive of this early pullback, and we're seeing the 50 EMA pull back from the 100 and narrow on the 200, suggestive of further downside on the day. So failure to move back through the pivot would bring the 23.6% fib and support levels into play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, relatively range-bound start to the morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 0.2432 to bring the first major resistance level at 0.2464 into play. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from 0.245 levels, however. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Ripple's XRP target 0.25s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.2505. Failure to move through the pivot would bring sub 0.24s and the first major support level at 0.2392 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of the second major support level sitting at 0.2360. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a widening of the bearish histogram after yesterday's late bearish cross, supportive of this early morning decline. On the EMAs, we're also seeing the 50 pull back from the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a bearish morning ahead. So failure to move through the pivot would bring sub 0.24s and support levels into play.